Do you have a personal example of someone being racist to you?
Yes.
Like, can you give an example?
Sure, Utah. Utah, I got a racist. They refused to give me food.
You like they said because you're Mexican, they wouldn't give
Right. Yeah. And in Arizona, I went into a nightclub. They refused to serve me drink because they thought I was an Indian.
you. Really? Have you ever faced like racism in America?
Yes.
Like, give an example if you don't mind.
Well, my last name is Chavez, which is Hispanic. So I assume that I'm from Mexico or somewhere from Mexico, but I've never been there my whole life. My parents were born in the United States. My grandmother was born in New Mexico. But yet sometimes people tend to think we're people from south of the border. And sometimes you get labeled, certain, like you're lower class. And I had a little bit of that when I was growing up. But luckily most of the people I have were in the same boat as me. We grew up here and their families got to go back 100 years to Mexico.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it always has, but you just learn to deal with it.
Like, what's something that's someone who's American that you feel, or society in general, that has been racist towards you?
Well, I think it's more like just the white America, you know what I mean? If you a Mexican moves into a white neighborhood or an Asian neighborhood, something like that, I mean, no one really wants the Mexican there. You know, Mexicans, they just look like troublemakers. They got the tattoos, even if they're not gang members or troublemakers, they still have the tattoos on them, just like I do. They have the short hair, the bald head. So, I mean, they just stereotype people. But if someone else, which is a different race, goes with tattoos and they're on a skateboard or something, they don't look at it the same way as they would a Mexican guy, So, I mean, just little things like that. They do stereotype and look at your race as, different.
Yeah? Why? Like, elaborate on that.
Well, for one, they look down on the Mexicans because they come take all the jobs. They're the ones that'll do the jobs. They don't like niggers. They don't like blacks. They don't like Russians. They don't like. It's a racist country. We are. Look at all the problems we're having now. If you're not white, you're not right. That's their motto, I think.
Have you ever experienced racism, even though you're white?
I've experienced it on the job. The job I'm doing now. They wouldn't teach me. They wouldn't. And my job is probably 80% Mexican, and I'm Mexican, but I don't look Mexican. Apparently, I'm half white, half Mexican, so that deters them. They wouldn't teach me anything the first probably 5 years I worked there. So I've experienced it.
Because you're Mexican, or because you're white?
Because I'm white.
So it's Mexicans who are racist.
Yep.
So
opposite.
So yeah. So kind of talk about that a little bit. Like, why? Like, how do Mexicans?
Well, I think their thing was, they have a job and they're making decent money here in the United States, and then some white guy comes in, and why are we going to teach him? He's going to take our job.
Even though you spoke Spanish and you're Mexican.
Yes. Yes, they didn't teach. Anything I learned by either jumping in or on my own. And I worked with them probably 7-8 years, and they wouldn't teach me nothing. Now, now it's come back. Now, I have my own work truck. I run my own jobs. But I mean, this was 9 years later. I mean, that should have happened 4 or 5 years into the job, proper training. But they had that attitude, like, nah. Any white guy comes on the roof, they want to run him on.
Yeah.
Anyone.
No? You don't feel that Mexicans here have looked at you differently for any reason, or been racist to you for being born from here, or for speaking English or whatever? Do you feel that white people or Americans look down on you for being Mexican American?
No. No.
What's your view of Americans?
Well, that's pretty good. American?
Yeah. People from the United States, have they ever treated you badly, or you kind of look down on them, or?
Not for me.
No? Do you consider America to be a racist society? No?
Well, American?
Yeah.
American society was it? Well, the best part of living here, or
No.
which one was?
Society of my sister.
Oh, this. No.
No?
Yeah,
Do you?
some places.
Have you ever felt like someone be racist to you?
Yeah, I felt that a lot.
Give an example.
Okay, here at the dairy, I have customers that come in and start speaking Spanish, and I talk to them in English, and they're like,
Was that like American society though, or is that like
Listen,
Mexican?
wait, wait, what?
Is that like, I mean, American society though?
Oh. I think it actually depends where you're at, your geographics.
In the California then?
California, no, there's too many Mexicans to be racist to.
Do you consider America to be a racist society?
I don't know. That's kind of, I don't know. That's hard to answer. I guess a part of America is. No, I mean, I guess I mean, there's so many different cultures that have come here that it's hard to not judge another culture. And so when you talk about American society, American society is full of all these other cultures, and so. I mean, yeah, I guess in a way everyone has some type of prejudice, but I wouldn't say we're complete racists.
Have you ever had an experience where there's someone who's American that has, like, kind of either looked down on you or been racist towards you because you're Mexican?
A little bit, I guess. I guess cops tend to, but white people. But then again, for me personally, there's Mexicans who kind of look down at me because I'm not Mexican, so,
Give
I don't act Mexican.
give an example of a cop that has either pulled you over or something because you're Mexican.
I have a few, but I guess the one that I think of most is when I came from work. I was in Smart and Final working at the time, and the clothes aren't really that great looking. They look kind of ghetto, I guess. You look kind of like, because my black and brown, it makes you look like I'm a cholo, kind of. So at the time I had long hair, so I was Whittier Boulevard. I didn't wear my seatbelt, so he pulled me over. But he, instead of just giving me a ticket and doing the whole spiel, he kept like asking if I had drugs and this and that, and kept, because of my car too, and I guess for what I felt, because I'm Mexican, he kept bothering me about whether I had drugs. He kept insisting like 3 or 4 times, and then kind of threatening, and then saying he's gonna search the car, and I got tired of it. But I guess that's my main. For me, I felt like he just looked at me and was like, this guy's got or he's Mexican or whatever, he's got something on him, but I didn't.
You ever feel racism here in America?
Yes.
Yeah? Give an example.
Here at work,
Not for me though,
Well, I know,
because I'm
but-
just joking.
when the white people come and order, they look at me like I'm a Mexican with no education.
Do you have an education?
Yes, I do.
College or high school?
High school.
You go to college? Do you want to go to college?
Hell no.
Yes.
Why? Give me an example.
Bunch of examples. All you have to do is walk down the street. That's all you have to do.
Do you have a personal experience?
I get looked at all the time.
Well, just not just like a look though, but like actually something like.
It's been a while, but I have ladies that still like put their purse when I'm like working, and they're in the store and they still like know I'm working, and they'll still like hide their purse or like hug their purse. I always, that's weird.
Yes and no.
Explain that.
Well, sometimes you could listen to people and they're kind of racist, and most of them are not though. Very few.
So would you say, as in general, as a whole, America is not racist?
Right.
Okay. Have you ever personally felt racism being Mexican American though?
Say it again.
Have you ever personally felt racism being a Mexican American?
No, never did.
No? Not even when you were growing up in school?
No, we never had any of that in school or anything. We up north we did, but not here in in L.A.
Up north where?
Well, a little town called Livingston. They used to kind of separate the Mexicans from the whites.
But they did that in California too.
Yeah, but I never experienced it.
Oh, okay.
Because I went to high school, went to Roseville High School, and we used to call it the League of Nations, because we had Japanese, we had blacks, we had Chinese, and we all got along fine. In those days, very few. You know what I mean? There wasn't that many around. But most of them, there was a few Japanese when I was going to high school. Okay? What else you got for me?